Sometimes you'll end up being a sister, brother, mother, father to someone else. Sometimes you're going to end up being a sister, brother, mother, father, friend to someone else outside of the circle that you thought you were going to be that to. Is that making any sense? Where you are not appreciated, God will remove you eventually and put you in places where you are. You're a loving person, but you may be in an environment where they don't receive your love, they reject your love. God will remove you from that and place you where your love and your kindness will be appreciated. You know, the Bible says the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. And so it means that there are a lot of people who are in need of the gifts, your talents, abilities, your kindness, your smile, your listening ear, your commitment. They're out there. But the environment that you are in is taking it for granted. Take for granted that you're not going anywhere. Take for granted that you'll always be there. Take it for granted that no matter what they do, you're not going to go anywhere. Take for granted that you always be around. Take for granted and say, I'll get to you when I get to you. And so there are times that the environment that you thought you would be in and the people who you thought you'd grow old with and the people you thought would be in your life forever, the ones you thought you'd be loving, that you always have connections with, are not. You're going to go somewhere else. Because sometimes you're casting your pearls before swine. Sometimes there is a mentality that people may have towards you that you're never going to be able to grow and thrive there because they're always going to be trying to keep you in this box. And they're always going to undermine you as an individual, challenge, question, laugh at your ideas, shun you, abuse you, mistreat you. And you have a gem inside of you that God does not want them to destroy. So what he will do at some point, it doesn't happen immediately, he'll remove you because there are other people who needs you. He'll remove you because you can't grow in this place. It's like Joseph. I love talking about Joseph. Joseph was around his brothers, but they didn't like him. So they always would ridicule him. They'll talk down to him. They'll talk at him. It got to the point that they wanted to kill their baby brother. I mean, that's kind of like, wow. And he wasn't doing anything really other than his father would tell him to go see what his brother's doing and go back and tell him. So, okay, he was a tattletale. But that's not worth killing somebody over. He's doing what his dad told him to do. His dad told him to do that. So that's what he did. And then he will always share his dreams. And they thought he was silly. And they were looking at, you're the youngest. Are you saying that you're going to be king over us? So Joseph was not accepted. He was not going to thrive there. And he was often undermined and vilified and eventually attacked. He was never going to be the prince of Egypt. Well, he wasn't the prince of Egypt. He was second in command from the Pharaoh. That wasn't going to happen at home. He had to get away from that. So chaos and drama and things began to build up that led to him being there. So now he's going to go from being their baby brother to being second in command to the king, to the Pharaoh, and he was going to help all these people. It's going to save them during the famine. You see what I'm saying? The Pharaoh had to have been, I'm going to assume, considerably older than him. Okay? So then Joseph became his son. I think so, because Pharaoh, I believe Joseph married the Pharaoh's daughter. So he became a son to the Pharaoh. And let's assume, just for an example, let's say the Pharaoh was fairly young. That he was just old enough to be like an older brother. Joseph now became a brother to the Pharaoh. And this is me giving an example. Why? Because he wasn't appreciated where he was at. He wasn't appreciated where he was. So whatever environment you're in where they don't appreciate you and they can't, God will sometimes move you where you can, all those gifts, the ability to be a good brother, a good sister, a loving brother, sister, friend, he will move you from that and put you where you will grow and where your gifts, talents, and ability and who you are as a person will be embraced. Joseph's brothers did not want him, so he became a brother to many. Hypothetically, if Joseph was still at home and the famine was going on, I guarantee you God would have given Joseph the ability to have that same plan for his own family. And how to ensure that they had enough store for those 7 years of famine. But they didn't appreciate him. The brothers didn't appreciate him. So he ended up going elsewhere. So he was now the son to the Pharaoh. He was a son to many. All these people he helped. He became a friend to many. And sometimes that's your destiny. You can't grow here. There's so much in you. You're not going to grow in this environment. And he's going to send you out. You're going to be a sister. You're going to be a brother to other people. You're going to be a good friend. You're going to be a listening ear. And friendships, guys, are not always just you and this person are together all the time. He has something different for you. He's going to shoot you out like an arrow. And you're going to just be able to help other people. And it's going to go beyond. God wants to take you beyond your zip code. He wants to take you beyond your your original origins and your cultural norms. He wants to push you beyond those things. Because sometimes, because of where you are and who you're around and how they see you, they can't appreciate the gifts of God in you. They may look at you with disdain. They may look at you with scorn because they see you as a child. They see you as the youngest. They see you as a person that, hey, you're older, but I'm smarter than you. I'm your mom. I'm your dad. Who you talking to? I make more money than you. Or they've just always been disrespectful. So no, you don't get to be a sister to your siblings, a brother to your siblings, an aunt, a mom, what you thought you would be doing, because those that you thought you'd be able to grow with, you're not going to grow with them for whatever reasons, whatever their hang-ups may be, whatever their qualms may be, whatever their mindset, God says, let's go. Because at times, God, I always say this, God would give these individuals, if you're around someone that's doing things that's wrong, there's a time, they have to be a time that they know what they're doing isn't right. And they're probably given a season to change, and they just don't. They won't change. They stop listening to the voice of God. They stop listening to their conscience. They just get to a point they don't even feel guilty anymore. And God moves you. Because even though you are a sister or a brother, your siblings don't appreciate you. So now I need you to be a sister, a brother to those who are in need and who will receive you. You may be a mother or father. Your children don't appreciate you. They have long broken your heart. They don't want you. You will be a father, a mother to those who are motherless and fatherless. He always has a plan for everyone. A lot of times, individuals put their whole identity in their last name. How are the people who share my last name treating me? What do they say about me? What do they say? What do they declare over me? And so you go, well, I guess that's me. And so if you're not accepted by them, you feel incomplete. When they abuse you and they say things, you say, this is who I am. But God is saying, as he said in Jeremiah 1, before I put you in your mother's womb, I knew you. That means you're going to walk in the destiny that I have ordained for you. And you belong to me. Yes, you're in this family. You may be in the last name, let's say the Lassetti family. That's your last name. God is like, your destiny goes beyond your last name. Your destiny goes beyond you being the first, second, third, fourth, seventh child. It goes beyond that. You're going to be a sister to many. You're going to be a brother to many. You're going to be a father to many. You're going to be a mother to many. You're going to be an uncle to many. Because you're not going to grow here. And if they can't appreciate you there, God's going to pull you. And now when you're no longer there, everyone gets concerned. Oh, what's going on? They're in a panic. Knee-jerk reactions. Where are you? I'm used to you being right here for me to sit on. Where's my favorite chair? Where's my favorite slippers? I can't find my slippers. God's going, no, I have something else for you to do. And you appreciate that. The family that God has for you is bigger than the numbers of those in you that has the last name or share the same blood DNA or whatever is you. I'm not telling you to disregard and to hate your family and to be indifferent towards them. But what I'm saying is there is a reality that sometimes God will remove you, and it's not that you're being indifferent. God has seen that you have been abused. You've cried enough. You have tried enough. You have all this love, you have all the stuff in you that he placed in you. And it's not going to be appreciated here. It's not going to be embraced here. It's not going to be reciprocated here. And he needs you to do the things that he's called you to do. You see what I'm saying? Look at this. Jesus was first among the Jews. He came in the form of a Jew. He came as a Jew. I mean, Jesus could have come as an African. He could come as an Italian person. But he came as a Jew. He could have come as a Roman and just turned them all around. But he came as a Jew. But the Jews rejected him. They rejected him. They rejected the doctrine. They rejected the gospel. he was just too familiar to them. So when it says first to the Jews, then to the Gentiles, when it says first to the Jews, then to the Gentiles, because he came first to them, shared the gospel with them, but they resisted. So what did he do? He went to the Gentiles. And then when the Gentiles started embracing the gospel and running with it, it became a problem. Like, we got to kill him. And then there's a jealousy now, right? Like, well, let me just leave that. But what I'm saying is, the people, if you read in the Bible, you'll see where the Jewish people became moved with jealousy because they were seeing how God was blessing and how they embracing the other people who are not of the tribe of Israel. They are just enjoying God, and he is blessing them, and he's opening up their wisdom and their understanding, and they're like, but he's our God. And sometimes that's what's happening with you. You were first with your own, but they did not embrace you. They're just used to you. And now God's launched you out. And sometimes there could be a jealousy, or there can be a who does he think she is? Who does he think he is? Who does she think she is? Suddenly they want you back, but it's not for the right reason. It's just like, hey, where my slippers go? I'm used to this rug being right here. Where's the bathroom rug? Where's my floss? Who moved my floss? You understand what I'm saying? So walk in what God has for you. Do not be discouraged and think, oh, I don't have anybody. You have more than enough. But sometimes you're either isolating yourself because you want to be sad. You're like, oh, that's not my family. Or fear. Does this make sense? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean onto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he'll direct your path. That is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. All right, guys. God bless.